Tonight is May the 14th, and this is Management 3025, and this is our first class meeting of the summer term, and we are delighted to see all of you here. We think there are how many in the section?
I think I counted 74.
74 names, which will filter down to maybe 65 or 60, and we'd love to have everybody here in the classroom every Wednesday we meet and get as much interaction going as we can. My name is Roger Strickland. This is Mr. Jimmy Williams, Ms. Anidria Gunn. You have seen our names, no doubt, on Canvas. Maybe a few people haven't turned in the assignment that was due at noon today.
And I just put up an announcement that it's now past due. So please submit it as soon as possible.
Your first assignment, a writing assignment, you have 5 writing assignments and you have 5 demonstrated competencies, we call them, which are a little lengthier. The first writing assignment was due at noon today. If you didn't get it in as soon as you can. It's basically a 1 to 2 page autobiographical sketch. It says who are you, where are you from, and what are you doing here. You will find an autobiographical sketch on each of us on Canvas. You can read at your leisure, probably even more enjoyable over a cold beer. They are humorous, no doubt. Do come in.
Also, for attendance purposes, you are supposed to email us. So please send an email if you have not done. We still have maybe half the class that have not, and we haven't recorded attendance.
I emailed one of you guys, but like I didn't see. I went to my financial aid on Canvas. I mean not on Canvas, but on the my USFA account, and it didn't say that I've been attending class.
It did not say, or did?
It didn't.
Okay, may I ask your name?
Mark Lewis.
Do you remember what section number you were in? CM1, 2, or 3, or C53? That will determine.
53.
Then I'm guilty. That's my section. You did send me an email?
Yeah.
Send me another one.
Okay.
I will get that recorded first thing tomorrow. Okay. Again, for you here, but anybody that's going to be watching this video on replay, we need an email from you to know for sure you're attending this class. If you're not sure which is your instructor, send it to all 3 of us. You know, no problem. Isn't that kind of a general management rule? If you got to do a little overkill, do it and get it done. Come in, come in. All right. We have a number of issues to discuss this evening, but perhaps we'll open the floor to you first. Are there some issues, questions? Certainly.
Even though we're doing it online, and I know that you have the classes every Wednesday, are we able to attend every Wednesday if we like to?
We'll have class approximately every other Wednesday, and every person in Management 3025 is cordially invited to please attend. We benefit from your presence, and I think you will benefit as well. You're going to, if you will attend regularly, you're going to get to know some of the people in the class. Let me a little foreshadowing. Your midterm exam, among other things, is going to have 40 multiple choice questions from the Kinnicky text. That's the management text. We give you about 200 multiple choice questions to prepare for those 40. You don't know which 40. We don't give you answers. You got to dig them out of the book. Now, in the true American spirit, some of you are rugged individualists, and you'll go look up every one of those 200 answers all by your damn self just because you can, right? There's a term for that in management. It's called stupid. Why would you want to spend all your time looking up 200 answers and hoping you got them right when you could get with a group of 4 or 5 or 8 people, spread them out, every question gets looked up by 2 people, verified by 2 people, and then you've got the answers. Where I come from, we call that kind of smart. So if you are coming to class, you're making connections, and you also can email everybody in this course, all sections. You can email back and forth on Canvas and start up your own study groups. We had one group 2 terms ago did a Google Docs exercise, and everybody coordinated through there. And the people who make those kind of efforts tend to do very well at a lot less effort.
We spoke just a little bit before we started about people working full-time and being a student full-time, and we didn't get into how tough that is, but we all understand. But it is also going to be nice to bounce some stuff off of other people who are going through the same rigors that you all are. So that's also a part of it.
Again, just mentioning things as they come quickly to mind. Ideally, when you begin this program, the first two courses you take are this course, Management 3025, and Professional Writing, GEB 3213, I think it is. And you should get those two out of the way. Okay, and I will tell you right up front, this course is a weed-out course. This course says you get it done right, you get it done on time, or you don't get any credit. And if you don't have that kind of self-discipline and that kind of organization and that kind of judgment, you really probably shouldn't be looking at trying to be responsible for other people if you can't manage yourselves. Okay? So when I see a person who's taken 4 or 5 other courses ahead of this one, and then they come into this one, frequently I see them bomb the course. Because the other courses don't have quite the kind of requirements we do. Work is due on a particular schedule. If it's late, it's 50% penalty. You will not finish this course if you don't turn in every single assignment. There is a deadline for all of those assignments. I've forgotten the particular date, but past that date, you can't turn them anyway. You will make a C on all parts of the midterm and all parts of the final, or you will not pass this course. Those are the standards, and if you can't meet those standards, to me that means you really shouldn't be considering taking on a career with responsibility for other people if you can't meet those responsibilities for yourself. So be advised, that's what's happening. Yes, ma'am.
I was concerned because I read everything that you had written
That's a lot of
in the
reading.
introduction, and just kind of, I'm not familiar at all with Canvas. Professors last semester and semester before didn't believe in Canvas, didn't believe in East Santa Fe, nothing. We just communicated one-on-one in that way.
We call them Luddites.
So now I'm trying to get used to it and not, feel anxiety. Oh my gosh, I can't find it. Did I turn it in right? Blah, blah, blah. But I read something about you were going to read our paragraphs and decide if we are able to stay in this class or go into the 3213. However, my academic advisor put me in both of you.
That is
So,
appropriate. What we're
okay.
doing with that first assignment, that page-and-a-half autobiographical sketch, yeah, I like to know a little bit about you, I want you to know about me, us, but I'm reading that damn thing, we're reading it about, can you write? Can you write at a professional level? Spelling, syntax, grammar, punctuation. Because if your standards and just maybe experience of that are very, very, below par, we want to identify that this week because Friday's the last day to drop this class. And say, maybe you need to take a writing course. In other cases, we may come back and say, this is pretty rough, but if you'll go to the writing lab and run your assignments through there first, I'm sure you can buff them up. And for most of you, your writing is fine. But we want to ascertain that this first week and give you time to adjust.
Someone had sent me an email and asked specifically about writing assignments and getting them previewed before you turn them in. That was the answer.
Yeah. We don't preview.
Yeah.
The lab.
We don't have time to preview something before, just like a manager. Think of that in the sense you work for us. I don't have time to check your work and then tell you to fix it and bring it back and fix it again. I'm paying you this kind of money because I want it done first time right. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
Just a note for anybody who works and may not necessarily have time to get to the writing lab. If you look on Canvas on the left-hand side, it's the very bottom thing. There's like a smart tutor,
yes.
and you can submit your assignment electronically, and a student TA person will review it and give you feedback on it.
Good. Which would be probably the same feedback you get at the writing lab.
Right.
equivalent.
Yeah. It's
Good.
just all electronic, so if you can't make it into Canvas.
And what you just shared is one of the benefits of coming to class. Maybe some people will hear that on the video, maybe some won't. Maybe you would have shared that had we not discussed it with just a few people here. So I want to encourage everybody to come to class as much as you can.
Where'd you say that was?
It's on on Canvas. Like when you're in the class, it's on the left-hand side. It's the very bottom thing. It's like a smart tutor. Smart thinking.
Smart thinking.
Smart
yeah.
thinking.
There you go. Okay? Yes, sir.
I have a little bit of insight with using that. You have to give them a couple days though before your assignment. Like they'll expect you to be back.
Oh, no, I can't do it that way. I gotta wait till the last minute.
And that's not what you want to work with.
The turnaround time for me has been within 24 hours.
Okay.
For me, my personal experience.
I can imagine that at certain parts of the term it will
Yeah.
stack up. So always, thank you for the answer earlier. What else? Come in. Anybody? Anything? Complaints, suggestions, confessions?
So.
Yeah, you may
oh, I'm
confess.
sorry.
Go ahead.
So when will you let us know that we're out of the class or we're in the
We're trying to get
class?
all that feedback to you this week.
Through email.
through email.
Okay.
Or really, I think it does come to them through, on
Yeah,
email.
it comes
And you'll
through.
see the grades
Yeah,
posted
as
as
soon
well.
as you grade, if you've got it set up for notifications, as soon as they grade it and enter your grade in, you get an email that says this was your grade.
With the comments.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I guess that kind of leads to,
I have another question.
what's there?
Yeah, this schedule that you guys gave us here, is there any updates on it? Are you guys gonna email us, like, ahead of time?
There will be periodic updates, usually when Strickland finds out he screwed it up,
Oh,
okay? I'll try to remember to announce that, but it's wise just to recheck that periodically anyway. Thank you.
And I also want to mention that I'm here, I'm an academic advisor, I'm in R207. A lot of times you may come by and it's swamped with students, but if you just come and kind of catch me in between students, and you can even sign in at the front desk for telling that you need to see me at the front desk. You can come by if you have questions about Canvas or how to navigate something, you're just not quite sure about an assignment or something, please feel free to stop by. I'm here basically Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Okay?
Professor Gunn is our authority on Canvas.
And if you're gonna communicate with me, it'll have to be through Canvas. I am, other than showing up for this class, I'm retired, so communicate with me through Canvas.
And at your leisure, you'll return.
And I'll get an answer to you right away, actually. I check it every day.
I think we're all pretty good about checking Canvas pretty much every day. I'm teaching this summer. I've got 8 classes. They're all online. I'll be out here a lot, but intermittently. But if you ever want to sit down and chat, you know, give me a day or two's notice. We'll find a time. We'll find a place. You can buy me a beer. No problem. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
For us to differentiate which one of you all is our assigned professor, we do that off the section.
The only sense of assigned professor is that I have the C53 section that I can record attendance on.
Okay.
And Jim, you have what, CM1?
C1.
And you guys C2? That's all. Other than that, your work comes in, any of us may grade it, post it, send you comments. You may contact any of us about any issue.
Okay.
Okay, good question.
So is it appropriate if we have a question, that's just a general question, we can address it to all 3 of you?
Sure,
And then,
sure. You
okay.
get 3 different answers in one way.
That can be confusing.
That's called
but-
management.
Well, that's what I did with attendance, I just sent it to all 3 of you.
Perfect.
Somebody will grab it.
Sure. Okay, anything else?
never mind, it's updated, it's it's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good, wasn't it? Anything else? Would you like to discuss Canvas to any length?
Sure. So how many students is this your first time like kind of using Canvas? I know we had, okay, so we got a couple. So the main thing to look at is your modules. When you log into Canvas, you're going to make sure you always check modules. Everything, all the writing assignments are listed in the modules. All the demonstrated competencies are listed in the modules. Everything is also on your calendar. If you click on your calendar, you'll see the due dates for every assignment. If you have a question about when something is due or not quite sure, like I said, stop by my office. You can always give me a call at my office, and I think my number is on the syllabus. My office number, you can always give me a call or shoot me an email and ask any questions that you need, you know, have questions with. Somebody emailed me earlier this week about how to submit assignments. So for every assignment, when you open up the assignments in the top right hand corner, there is a submit assignment. You upload your assignment there.
That's what I thought,
Mhm.
yeah. Because I would just go back home and I'd say, forget this, go back home, and then that's when I was able to send it.
Right.
Click on assignment, click on the particular assignment, then go to the upper right-hand column where it says upload assignment.
Right. So,
So everybody should be submitting their assignments through that button. Don't email it individually to each instructor. Just submit it through that, and then we all can view it. And like I said, you know, like we said earlier, one of us will jump in and grade it. It's fairly simple to use, but you know, I do understand if it's your first time navigating it. Once you start navigating it, it'll get more easier. 1 or 2 assignments, you're going to have to do a video. You're going to have to upload a video to YouTube. When you upload the video to YouTube, you need to send us the link Send it in with your assignment. Make sure we get the link to your video. Make sure that we can view it. We've had some students in the past mark it as private, and we can't view it if it's private.
Create your video. That will be a lot of fun. Once you get the video created, right, listen to it. If you're standing out in the middle of the yard and the wind's blowing, we probably can't hear you. If you're standing near traffic, every time a truck goes by, we can't hear you. Okay? Look to your appearance. Okay? You don't have to memorize a presentation word for word, but get comfortable running through it in a natural sense. Send us the URL, okay, for YouTube. And as you put it on YouTube, mark it not
Unlisted.
unlisted, thank you, unlisted. Not private, not public, unless you're kind of a show-off, but unlisted, and that way we can get to it. Nobody else can without the URL. Another quick note, when you're submitting assignments, written assignments, they need to be in .doc or .docx format, okay? If you send them in some of these other formats, we can't read them and/or we can't make annotations on them. We try to give you feedback on those assignments, okay?
If we're able to open it back up once we submit it, does that mean you're able to open it too?
No. You mean open it on Canvas?
Right, I submitted my biography on Canvas, and then I just clicked where it said submitted to see if it opened, and it did. But does
I
that
think
mean you'd be
that,
able to?
you think that probably works?
Well-
Probably means it's submitted.
It means it's submitted, but I don't. If it's not in a Word document, we may not be able to see it. You may be able to see it because whatever you created on your computer is the program.
I believe
is
it's
covered.
Word, but I just.
And Mr. Murphy's at work out there. You will send us, each of you, at least one assignment that will not post properly, and you will fail to save it. And you get to do it over. So keep your own records on your computer of everything you do. One of the things we're contemplating in this OM, Organizational Management Program, is the construction of an, what is it called, an online portfolio. Each of you would create your own portfolio where you would exhibit documents and examples of the work you've done, the questions you've answered, et cetera, et cetera. That, along with the video and the portfolio, when you applied for a job, you'd say, here's my resume, here's my cover letter, here's my link to my video, and here's my link to my portfolio, so you can see the type of work I've done, the quality of writing I do, et cetera. And if you have all those things locked and loaded, you're way ahead in the job search program. Okay? More and more. Well, Jimmy is our HR expert, so is Anita. It's a lot easier to look at somebody on video than it is to invite them to fly in from 200 or 500 miles away and do a job interview. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Got so much to say.
Did anybody have any specific questions about Canvas? No, not yet.
Can we find out if you got our assignment today? I don't have, I've never used Canvas either, so I just wanted to see if I did it right. Barrett, last name Barrett?
I can check it right quick.
Writing assignment, submission.
Makeup of the course. Your grade, this is off the syllabus, okay? Your grade comes from 5 writing assignments, 20 points apiece. Writing assignments, read the description. What is a writing assignment? It's going to be anywhere from 2 to 5, 6 pages. It should reflect not, I did the work. It should reflect, I thought about this a lot, here's what I think. And imagine that every document you write is going to your manager or his manager. And so it's got to reflect a level of expert knowledge and a level of professionalism in its presentation. In some instances, you can be creative in the way you present it. You can create some graphics to go with it, or whatever other materials you want to create that help explain and supplement it. Demonstrated competencies are longer assignments. We would expect more depth and breadth in your presentation. Citing research where you may have done some additional research on this. Same thing though, those are 30 points apiece, 5 of them. After the writing assignments and the competencies, you have a midterm and a final. The midterm and the final have 3 parts. Part number 1 is a test on the textbook part of this course, part 1 and 2. Part 1 is on the Kinnicky text, the traditional management text, management terminology, management concepts. You get all these multiple choice questions to be prepared. 40 of those will be given back on the test, almost verbatim. Second part of the test is from the Caproni text. The Caproni text, most of you will find when you start reading it, makes you stop and think. It's very self-reflective. We don't do every chapter in that text, but we do most of them. And for each chapter, we have created some questions about the chapter. You will see some of those questions again on the exam. So read the questions, write the answers. Third part of the test comes from the financial calculator that's required for this course. There are videos to explain the use of the financial calculator. There are handouts and sample problems with answers. And we will do some of them as demonstrations here in our class on Wednesday nights. So that's the third part of the exam. Again, you must make a C or better on all three parts of the exam to pass. Okay? Jimmy, you want to come over here in the limelight and you can talk about satisficers.
Yeah.
You wrote it on the board.
Yeah. Who invented that word anyway? I thought it was yours. Satisficer. Who thinks they may have some idea of what this word means? Go.
It's just doing the bare minimum to get by.
Doing the bare minimum to get by. One of the things that Roger touched on a couple of minutes ago was this whole concept of professionalism. As a manager, as a professional manager, you don't do the bare minimum to get by. You want your work product, whatever it may be, to demonstrate, to be a reflection of you and what your competencies are and that kind of thing. I will tell you that there is nothing that irritates me more when I'm grading and those kinds of things. And let's say the assignment says 1 to 2 page writing assignment. And this person turns in a 1-page writing assignment, double spaced, just enough words to get to that 1 page, and they say, well, I submitted that. Or we had the conversation a little earlier about the person who waits to the very last minute to turn their work in, and there are a million errors because all of life's challenges and activities have interfered, and now you just got to get something in. So don't fall into that trap. It's really what it boils down to. And within 2 or 3 assignments, we'll know who those people are.
Good. Satisfice, to do just enough to get by. A ticket to perdition if you want a career in management. That will take you down the tubes as quick as anything. What's the opposite of satisficing?
Overachieving.
That's the extreme opposite, overachieving, maybe to a negative extreme. Is overachieving negative?
No.
Okay. We use a slightly different term here to embellish that concept. We use the term discretionary effort. Effort that you exercise at your own judgment and discretion above what is really absolutely minimally required. You are exercising discretionary effort by being here tonight. You did not have to be here. By being here, you are making a very positive impression that you are willing to do more than the minimum to get by. That's what we're looking for. And we hope we're going to show you that from us. Okay. Satisficing. Don't need any satisficers. Other comments, questions, or suggestions? We graduated our first class of graduates from the organizational management program a couple of weeks ago. I was at the graduation. I think there were 8. I watched them walk across the stage. I watched them when they first came to this program in the fall of 2012. And I'm going to tell you this about those 8 people. I would hire any one of them in a New York minute to work for me. They were our first-class people. We've been in a discussion at business programs here recently with some people from the insurance industry in Gainesville. And they are searching for qualified applicants who want to go into the risk management business. Now, a lot of people think that means, oh, selling insurance. I don't want to do that. There is one hell of a lot more to risk management than selling insurance. And when I heard about what they were looking for, the qualifications they needed, my first thought was I would send them any one of those 8 graduates and say, here is my full-fledged 100% positive recommendation of that student. That said, last term, we began this class with 4 sections
Yes.
of 92 students.
No, it was more than 92.
92 at the time I made a report. We may have had a few more
Yeah.
earlier. We finished with, by my recollection,
53?
38.
Oh, well, 38 that passed.
38 students finished and passed this course with a C or better. Why did 2/3 of the class, or I don't know, 55, 60%, why did they not finish this course? I'm sorry?
Dissatisficers.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of them are good people, and in fact, some of them are back in the course this term because things went wrong, out of their control, and by God, they're gonna make it happen. I admire that. You know, it ain't what you did, it's what you did about it, okay? But for a lot of other people, they couldn't set their priorities and stick to them. They overcommitted. Jimmy mentioned a lot of people taking, you know, having a full-time job and taking 4 courses. You better be damn careful, because we'll work you to death. A lot of people do that because, oh, I can get financial aid, full-time financial aid, and my job. Hey, damn, let's buy a boat. Wait a minute, stupid. You haven't got but 168 hours in the whole week. And it's going to take an awful lot of them to get through all those courses. Do not, principle of management, do not set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success. For most of you, this is your first term in the program. You don't even know the ground rules yet. You don't know how many of us instructors are crazy. You don't know how much is really involved. You don't know how much hassle you're going to have with the administration. So when you're coming into something new, don't go in there full bore. Pick it up light and figure out the system, and then figure out how much you can really carry. Okay? That's management. I was making another point and I forgot entirely what it was about. So how about it? Okay? What else? Anybody?
You gotta have questions. I know you have.
I have a question, but I figure that maybe we'll get to it later because we haven't gotten to the videos, but I can go ahead and ask it. I'm not familiar with YouTube. I don't do YouTube. I don't go on YouTube. My kids don't go on YouTube. So.
Don't let them see you doing it.
So I know I am gonna need help, or are you all gonna give tutorials or tell us how?
Basically, you're going to go to YouTube and create your own channel. It is so simple. I did it the first time, and I'm much older than you are.
Some of these demonstrated competencies are really going to seem like a challenge that you can't overcome for some of our more seasoned peers, if you will. But you'll get through it, and that's what management is all about. If you don't know how to do it, there's someone who does, and you lean on them, which was part of the reason we talked about going to the class. Because the reciprocal of that is that there's probably something that you're good at and they don't know.
You'll have to obtain a camera of some sort.
Have that.
Okay, and then you want to pick a setting. You know, ideally, you're going to have a sort of an office setting, looking fairly intellectual, books on the shelf, a couple of nice mementos, and you're going to sit there just as cool, like you were on NPR or PBS doing a documentary. Good evening. Better yet, a fellow first term. The video opens up and he's reading a book, and the video comes on and he's reading, and he looks up and he says, "Hi, I'm Milton Towns." I mean, it was like right off of TV. He's first rate. He's still with us. He's a good guy. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do, you know. And what's a satisficer going to do? They're going to show up in a room that's got nothing in it. They're going to be wearing their raggedy T-shirt and raggedy jeans, and they're going to give us a presentation. Yeah. Not more than once, but okay. If you have any issues, any problems, any questions, you let us know. We actually are here to help.
And you can also use your phone. Most of you have smartphones now that takes video. So you can have somebody hold your phone and video. Just make sure that they're not moving or you're not moving a lot in the video. And I'll talk more about background distractions and background noise and orientation of the video and length of the video and all of that. We'll go more into that before the first video is done. Nobody sees this but you.
Unless we really think it's funny, but yeah.
That was my biggest issue.
No, we respect your privacy about that, no problem. Anything else? Yes, ma'am?
Can you talk about the writing assignments a little bit? My understanding, I'm kind of being OCD about this. You want us to do them by the due date that's listed on the syllabus, or in the guidelines there, but do not submit them unless either A, you ask for them, or B, towards the end of the semester after
We
we've
will
completed.
ask for them even if it's the end. But let's say that again, you're exactly right. With the exception of writing assignment 1, which was to be turned in today, or as soon thereafter as you can. Your writing assignments, you do them, you have them completed by the due date. You keep them on your computer, readily accessible. And we will periodically come out to you, and maybe not all of you, just a few select people once in a while. We'll say, you 19 people, send us in WA2 within the next 24 hours. And if you procrastinated and haven't done it, then you get to panic. Okay? But if you keep them done on schedule, and we may come to you in, say, 6 weeks, and say, wow, I've got a free weekend. How about sending me WA2, 3, and 5, okay? And you 14 people. And you've got to be ready to respond.
See, again, what we're trying to teach is real-world application as opposed to theory. That's not uncommon for your manager, your supervisor to come in and say, I need this, this, and this by tomorrow. You know, those kinds of things. And so we're just trying to build in those kinds of thoughts.
Now the competencies have to be turned in on
All the
schedule.
time.
And it is possible that you will get an unannounced assignment, a competency or a writing assignment, that may come out and say, within 72 hours, I need this assignment. Love, Roger. Okay? So check those announcements every single day.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
Good?
so basically, we can kind of go ahead and complete them. And I'm just making
What
sure.
kind of
No, because,
revolutionary idea is that we can go ahead and get ahead?
no, the reason,
I love it.
the reason why I say that is because I research stuff a lot and I revise a lot. No, it's just that when you have,
Weren't you in this class last term?
no, sir.
I know you weren't. I'm
Okay.
We had that very person last term.
And I
Not
just
really.
like to get things, I don't like to fall behind. That's why I emailed all 3 of you, just to make sure. I'm just that type of person. I don't
Absolutely.
like last minute stuff.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's
I
why
think
I'm
that's
asking, when you stated about the writing assignments, if,
Why don't you just take this weekend and knock
Just
out
do
all
them
5
all.
of them?
that's, I just did that with my other class, but that's what I was asking.
I think that's absolutely commendable, not just for this class, but as a practical, habit in life. Get it done early. Now, let me mention 1 or 2 other things. At some point, I think it's about 4 weeks from now, but I don't recall the date, it's on your course schedule. We're going to administer in class a personality profile. It's called the DISC, D-I-S-C. When we do that, if you can come to class, it will be extremely helpful, because we're going to structure a lot of our conversations and some assignments around that. Okay? More about that when it gets close. But part of what comes out of that profile is we tend to look at people in terms of their technical and task abilities, their ability to do things, and in terms of their interpersonal relationship type, communication type skills. Because in management, which one do you need the most? You absolutely need them both. Sometimes you need more one than the other, but you've got to be conversant and capable in both of those. And when you ask me, can I do it early, I hear somebody very focused on, here's the job I got to do, I'm going to do it this way. Okay? Others of you, nobody's asked yet. Somebody here is probably going to ask, well, we're going to go out and have a beer after class? Well, sure, no problem. That's your social skill side. Right? So we'll talk about those.
with beer.
Actually, I'm a martini guy, but I'm trying to be universal man.
One of the points about doing the assignments ahead of time is there may be discussions in the class or as you do the competencies that will cause you to revise them and so forth. So don't just put them on the shelf and forget them, even though you may